closer. Guess what?
What?
You lose! What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Put her there, sister.
Amanda Bynes making headlines once again, and now she's forced to undergo a mandatory mental health evaluation.
I was angry. I felt unsupported.
You pull back the curtain on child stardom. It is not a pretty picture.
Not as I see it, no.
You can just imagine how totally unbelievable it is to garner fame and fall off the map like that. I know you'd always say it can't be you, but let's be real. Sometimes fame can be so aggravating. Imagine all those eyes on you at every damn moment, and oh boy, how muzzling that is. Well, just so you know, there are a bunch of child celebrities who are known to have fallen prey to this virus of falling out of the spotlight. And let me tell you, some of them practically left the spotlight on their own terms, probably overwhelmed or something. Let's dive into the tea of 10 of these celeb kids on why they actually left or fell off the spotlight.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh my gosh, the bear ate Freddy. Bad bear! Oh!
First off, we gotta talk about Jeanette McCurdy, and oh man, was she straight fire. You remember Sam Puckett from that Nickelodeon show back in the day. Yeah, that's the one. She had a ton of movies and TV shows like Malcolm in the Middle, Zoe 101, Lincoln Heights, True Jackson, iCarly, Sam and Cat.
What are you doing here in LA?
Looking for fun? How are your breakfast burritos?
Disgusting.
I'll take a jumbo.
And Victorious. Phew, that's a lot. She was killing the game starting from the age of 6, no less.
It's Saturday, and it's Halloween. Do you know what they call that? Satterween!
It's wild that we don't see her on our screens no more, but she's been real about why she dipped out, saying it was mainly because of her toxic relationship with her mom, who she says forced her into acting. She even wrote a best-selling book about it, I'm Glad My Mom Died, which was #1 on the New York Times list for 8 weeks. And oh boy, that stirred up some drama. She spilled all the tea on how being on TV messed with her mental health, and even claimed Nickelodeon offered her $300,000 to keep quiet about her experiences. But she was like, nah, I'm good. I'ma keep it real. I love that she's standing up for herself like that. She said she never wanted to be a star and was only doing it because her mom pushed her into it, and that she was basically the breadwinner since her family was struggling financially.
You say, quite frankly, that this was never your dream. Stardom was never your dream. Whose dream was it?
My mom's. I think she wanted me to have a better life than she had, but I also think her approach was very unhealthy and informed by her own lack of self-work, and she lived vicariously through me. It felt like a lot of pressure, and then I think my mom saw my career as a way out of that life, of that way of living, of that constant grind.
She talked a lot about her mom's cancer diagnosis when she was just 3 and how that made her mom super controlling. She's got all the tea in her book, from growing up in an abusive household to quitting acting to heal from her mother's grip.
Not only was it chaotic because of the abuse that was happening and my mom's violent and erratic, unstable behavior, but also because we all lived in fear of her cancer coming back. I think I earned that title through the writing of the book, but I wanted it to be something that would grab people's attention and get them to pick up the book and then hopefully learn by the end of it why I have chosen that title.
She's still writing and hasn't ruled out acting again, so we'll see what's next for her.
I just wish I could have shown my 20-year-old self me now. I would have known what I was aiming for. I would have had something to hope for, something to be encouraged about. I didn't have that.
What would you have told your 20-year-old self?
Look at me now, baby. You're gonna be fine, kid. I probably would have said.
Jeanette, now 32, boasted an impressive estimated net worth of $3.5 million. Time certainly flies.
Hey, you've got it! You've got the last golden ticket! The kids found the last golden ticket!
Next up is Peter Ostrom, the OG Charlie Bucket from the 1971 classic flick Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Crazy to think that it was his only movie role, right?
That was the only film I ever made. My life went in a different direction. I'm a veterinarian. That, totally different career.
He was just 12 and had major potential. Good thing he got discovered by talent scouts in the 6th grade while performing at the Cleveland Playhouse Children's Theater. He even dodged a 3-film contract from David L. Wolper, saying he wanted the freedom to choose his own gigs. But, fun fact, Ostrom tried out for more roles but struck out, so he pieced out from acting. Wild to think he didn't want to be associated with the fame from the movie and just wanted to chill. So he switched gears and got into vet stuff, vibing with his family's horses and eventually copping a doctorate of veterinary medicine in '84.
What I like to think about is if you could only make one film, this was the film to be in.
But the fame from Willy Wonka never fully died down. When the movie re-aired in '05, Peter Ostrom blew up again and got more attention than ever.
And there's not very many films that we can say that about. Wizard of Oz, yes, and now I think Willy Wonka can be kind of in that same category. So it's almost 50 years. You know, next year we'll be celebrating, in 2021 we'll be celebrating the 50th. So it was a short career, but this film has kind of made my brief career last a very long time. Countless people have said, oh, the character Charlie, that it made a big influence on their life, and to be involved with that, it's very humbling.
He's spoken about missing acting, and it's dope that he still shares his experiences with students at Lowell Academy every year, talking about Willy Wonka and his vet work. Well, Ostrom is 66 and still shining. This former child star walked away from Hollywood, but his bank account didn't suffer. $500,000 and counting. Talk about a mic drop.
Your car is about to run a stop sign.
Mara Wilson was a whole vibe, fam. She's next on the list, and I'm like, where's she been? Well, let me tell you, she's been through it. She straight up said, film acting is not very fun. Doing the same thing over and over again until in the director's eyes, you get it right, does not allow for very much creative freedom. The best times I had on film sets were the times when the director let me express myself, but those were rare. After her 12-year hiatus in 2012, she was like, I'm good. I'm out of here. And honestly, who can blame her? She started acting at 5 and was a total prodigy, starring in classics like Roald Dahl's Matilda, Miracle on 34th Street, and more.
Doing the scene where we chased Miss Trunchbull out of the school was really fun. It was a complicated thing. It was a very sort of, it was kind of long and protracted, but I consider it something of a mutual breakup. Hollywood wasn't that interested in me anymore because I didn't, to Hollywood, to producers, you are your demographics, you are your looks. It's not immoral, but it's amoral. You are the way that you look, you are the way that you present yourself. And I did not fit that anymore. I was definitely not an ingenue. And there are very few 13-year-old character actresses, and people say sometimes, they're like, oh, you should get back into acting, and I'm like, guys, you already have Aubrey Plaza and Ellen Page and Anna Kendrick, and you still have Jeanine Garofalo. Like, you have your snarky brunettes, you don't need another one. But also, I was kind of burned out on it too. I didn't think that I was a great actress, particularly. I had other interests as well. I always wanted to be a writer. I wanted to act on stage a little bit. I wanted to do comedy a little bit. That felt much more, I have a control freak streak, and that felt much more within my control.
She even won an award for her skills, but then her mom passed away from breast cancer and she struggled with mental health issues. She was like, peace out, Hollywood.
It was sort of like, I'm not really that into this anymore, and Hollywood being like, yeah, well, we don't really want you anymore anyway. So I guess eventually, it did work out.
Right. But then she came back low-key with some web series appearances and writing gigs. She wrote some books like Where Am I Now? True Stories of Girlhood and Accidental Fame. But then, plot twist. She made a brief return to TV and voice acting, starring in Broad City and Big Hero 6. And let's not forget, she's been open about her struggles with mental illness and came out as an atheist at 15 and bi in an interview with Medium. Mara Wilson, the OG child star, still slaying the game. Wilson is currently 37 years of age, standing tall with a net worth of $500,000. Up next is Kay Panabaker, who was a total boss, fam. She was a rising star known for her roles in Fame, Phil of the Future, and Summerland.
So excited about what you have to do that you literally fly out the door.
And fun fact, she's Danielle Panabaker's little sis. She was destined for stardom, guest starring in TV dramas and soap operas like it was her job. Oh wait, it was. She started acting in community theaters in Chicago, Philly, and Atlanta, and was a total bookworm. I mean, she graduated high school at 13 as valedictorian and snagged 2 scholarships to study acting. She finished her degree in history by 18 and was like, peace out, I'm a star. She won awards, starred in Disney movies, and was on top of the world.
You smell like strawberries. It's my lip gloss.
But then, she just dipped out in 2012 after Beverly Hills Chihuahua and was like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna be a zookeeper now. And girl, she meant it. She studied zoology at UCLA and now works at Disney's Animal Kingdom. She's even married to Yanni Yates. Talk about a plot twist. Kate Hanabaker, the OG child star turned zookeeper, living her best life. Kate Hanabaker is currently 34 years old, and news has it that her net worth is estimated at $1 million.
But the worst thing I ever done, I mixed up all this fake beauty.
Yas! Up next is Jeff Cohen. He's a total boss, fam. He slayed the game as Chunk in the Goonies 1985. Even with the chicken pox, he was like, I'm not missing this opportunity.
What are the Goonies anyway? What Goonies?
Well, everybody thinks that they're monsters, but they're not. They're just these kids who live in the Goondocks, and like the guys in the upper class call them the Goonies. But first we didn't like it, but now we're proud of it. It's like our own little club.
How come you were discovered for this movie? Who found you for this part?
Steven and Dick.
Oh, he's Steven
He
to
found
you,
me
is
lying in a gutter.
Where did he discover you? This Steven Spielberg. It's Steven to him, but Mr. Spielberg to the rest. So old Steve dug you up from the gutter, did he?
Yes.
You were drunk, weren't you? Lying
Yes.
in the gutter drinking.
Yeah, save me.
What was the audition like?
Well, you see, I was so scared. He went, I was like, because he's king. He's like, oh, when you come into a room, like trumpets play, dum 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 dum. And I was like, first day when I was gonna meet him, I was, Mom, it's Steven Spielberg. What am I gonna do? If I screw up, it'll ruin my whole life. Then my mom said this to calm me down. She went, Jeff, he's just another Jewish boy. So I went, okay, it's just another Jewish boy.
Director Richard Donner had nothing but praise for him. And fun fact, his sis, Edie Faye, is a playwright and actress. Talent runs in the family, hunty. But Jeff was like, law school, here I come. He graduated from UCLA Law in 2000 and became a Hollywood big shot, earning a spot on Hollywood Reporter's Next Gen list in 2008.
You know, I talked to Dick. I remember when I was my senior, I was senior at Berkeley, I was like, Dick, like, what do I do, man? I'm like, I'm graduating, I don't know what to do. And we talked about different stuff, and then we kind of talked about the idea of me going to law school. I didn't necessarily want to be a lawyer, but a lot of people I respected in the entertainment industry, whether they were lawyers or managers or producers or agents or studio people, had a law degree, because there's something about the way it teaches you how to think and the negotiation of it and kind of all of the intellectual property right and transactional issues that come up in this business that are kind of the kind of buying this business together. And and then I eventually went to UCLA Law School, and again, same thing. Dick got me a great job at Universal Studios, and then I met my law partner and started a law firm in Beverly Hills. Well, a lot of it was improv. I mean, they really kind of let us go with it, you know what I mean? And it was very, like, I don't know, it was just a really open environment, because Dick is such a great director that you can be like, and he's so secure with himself as a director.
Now he's a top entertainment lawyer in LA, writing for HuffPost and CNBC, and living his best life. He chased his dreams and isn't apologizing for it. We loved him on screen, but he's crushing it in real life. Proud of you, Jeff. Jeff is crushing it at 50. With a whopping $4 million net worth, he's living his best life. This dude's got his finances on lock, and his future's looking bright.
Are you a virgin?
Yeah. Next up is Omri Katz. And let's get straight to it. He's all about that cannabis life now. I know, it's a shocker, but he's out there running his own cannabis company like a total boss.
What have you been doing since you've been kid acting?
Well, I left the business for my own personal reasons. I just went and had a human experience, traveled, saw the world, fell down to the bottom, sank to the bottom, climbed my way back up, and now my main focus is I have a cannabis business. That's pretty much my passion and my dream, and that's what I'm working on.
But before he became a cannabis kingpin, he was straight fire, fam. I mean, who else could say they slayed roles in Matinee, Adventures in Dinosaur City, Erie, Indiana, and Hocus Pocus?
Run, Kitty, run! Come on!
Only Omri Katz. Boo. And fun fact, he's Jewish with an older bro and sis, and he's even worked as a hairdresser. Talk about a multi-talented king. He was like, peace out, acting, I'm good. And we were like, okay, boo, do you. But for real, it's cool that he's still homies with his Hocus Pocus castmates. That's some real-life magic right there.
from time to time, especially this time of year, being Halloween and the movie being so popular right now. Yeah, so I talk to a lot of people. I don't really talk to the witches because they obviously are probably too busy, or, we've all kind of lost touch. But in terms of other cast members like Vanessa and Thora, yeah, we talk and we get together once in a while.
As long as he's winning in his own lane, we're rooting for him. And it's all good, you feel? Well, Katz is 48 and still fly. His net worth? A cool $1 million. That's straight fire, dude.
Come on. You gotta get up. Dad.
Oh my god, who didn't watch Simba? I'm low-key hyped. That brings us to Jonathan Taylor Thomas, aka Simba's voice. And boy, he was straight fire.
The former child star who famously voiced young Simba in the 1994 Disney classic, The Lion King.
But I thought a king can do whatever he wants.
Oh, there's more to being king than getting your way all the time.
There's more?
Born September 8th, 1981, he's a Virgo just like me. Virgos are the real MVPs. He started acting in the 90s, breaking in with the Bradys and Home Improvement.
What happened to the bike?
Well, it was hit by...
Don't say lightning.
Wind.
But then, he dipped out to focus on school, graduating with honors from Chaminade College Prep in 2000.
Now this one, Jonathan Taylor Thomas' favorite subject in school. History, phys ed, science.
I'm gonna have to go with history.
So far, you know a lot about this guy named Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It is good. Are you a good student? You're a sophomore now, huh?
Yeah, I'm a sophomore in high school, and I'm doing quite well. Last year, I had a 4.0, but I worked very hard for it, and this year, we'll see. But I'm taking some really tough classes, and I want to go to a good college, so.
Yeah, how's Home Improvement going?
It's going great. We're back. This is our 7th year, so. We've been doing it a long time. 7 years. Started the show when I was 9. But
9 years old.
It's great.
You're all grown up.
All grown up.
He went on to slay at Harvard studying philosophy and history, and even spent a year abroad in Scotland. Talk about a boss. He later graduated from Columbia University. That's a whole lot of brain power, Hunty.
The former teen heartthrob stepped out of the spotlight to study at Harvard University before graduating in 2010 from Columbia University.
He still managed to squeeze in some acting gigs like Veronica Mars in Last Man Standing.
Yeah, I had it souped up a bit. For more power.
And let's not forget his iconic voiceover work in The Adventures of Pinocchio, which earned him a Young Artist Award. Yes, he was on a roll.
Pinocchio.
Yes, Papa?
Thomas brought the heat back in the day, and we're still missing him, fam. Jonathan is aging like fine wine, 43 and rocking a whopping $12 million net worth. Mind-blowing. Next up, Ashley Olsen, born in 1986, and she was like totally destined for fame, fam. She and her twin sister Mary-Kate started acting as babies at 6 months on Full House, and they became like the ultimate child stars.
It's really amazing that y'all started out on Full House. I mean, to start in a career and to be businesswomen and to be successful, because a lot of people start at this, they try, and it's not nearly as successful. And Full House is still on. I know that people still watch the show to this day. Like, my producer Mary's daughter watches every single day, every time it's on, and people love the show still.
No, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I guess people who grew up with us are now having kids, and now their kids are watching it, and it's still relevant.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
They were making bank, living large, and rocking the red carpet all before puberty hit, bruh. But as they grew older, they started to, rebel against the spotlight and focused on building a fashion empire, which was, totally on point. They launched their own fashion lines and became style icons and all that jazz.
And then you end up being very, very successful fashion designers, which like I said, I love your clothes.
Thank you.
I wear them all the time on the show. And when I was campaigning to be on the cover of Oprah's magazine, y'all got in touch with us and wanted to dress me for the cover of O, which I was very flattered.
That was amazing. We have it framed in the office.
Well,
now, Ashley's about keeping it low-key and living her best life away from the drama and paparazzi. You feel? I mean, she had a lot to tell Financial Times on why she actually decided to lay it low.
Mary-Kate also opened up about her and Ashley's preference for staying out of the spotlight, telling the Financial Times, "We're just private people. We've done interviews our whole life, and no offense, but I don't know how this conversation is going to go. So after years of that, you just choose to stop talking to people if it's not going to translate."
She's still killing the fashion game, but on her own terms, and that's totally admirable in my opinion. Ashley's currently 38 and raking it in. She and her twin sis share a staggering $1 billion net worth. Talk about twin goals.
Watch this kid, number 19. That kid is a natural.
Yo, next we've got Danny Lloyd coming up, and he's been keeping it hella chill since day one, fam. I mean, who dips out of the child actor game at just 10 years old and then makes a comeback 36 years later? Only one dude, and that's Danny Lloyd, bruh. He's famous for playing Danny Torrance in that classic horror flick The Shining, 1980. And he landed the role because he could focus for mad long, you feel?
Forever and ever.
And can you even believe that he didn't know he was in a horror movie because he was only 6 at the time and thought he was just acting in some drama about a family living in a hotel? Aw, bless his heart, G.
And kind of building off onto that, the first time that you watched the movie all the way through,
Yeah.
did you ever see one of those scenes and you're like, oh, that's what they needed that reaction shot for? It's supposed to be scary and not funny. Were there any of those aha movements watching?
Yeah, a little bit, because like you said, along the same lines, they had kind of trained me, for lack of a better word, to just give that scared look, And so later on when I see the film, I'm supposed to be seeing the twins all chopped up. I don't want to necessarily see that when I was 5, so.
Anyway, fast forward to 2004. He became a prof at some college in Kentucky teaching biology and whatnot. But then, out of nowhere, he shows up on screens in 2019, starring in the sequel to The Shining, Dr. Sleep. Just chilling at a basketball game like he never left. LOL. Crazy, right? Lloyd is 51 years old with a current net worth of $400,000.
You've made your bed. I just hope for your sake that you've cleaned the sheets.
Last, we got Amanda Bynes. She was straight fire, fam. She was the real deal, and we're still missing her low-key. This girl started acting at age 7. She was in Cut and Style Barbie, Taco Bell, The Music Man. Like, what a resume. But for real, I don't know why she dipped out of the scene. Let's get the scoop and dive deeper, okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
At just 13, Amanda Bynes was slaying the game, starring in the All That spinoff, The Amanda Show from 99 to 02.
Whoopee, tummy time. Feed me. What? Feed me!
What a breakout star, fam! She was on fire, winning 4 Kids' Choice Awards and snagging 2 Young Artist Award nominations.
Amanda Bynes!
But then she dropped out of the film in 2010 and announced that she was taking an indefinite break from acting. That's when things started going downhill, bruh. It was like, what's going on, Amanda? So Amanda Bynes said that she was going to make a comeback to acting in 2018. But nothing went down, fam. We were all hyped, but it was just a total bust. Bynes was going through a wild time, fam. She was trying to get her life together, enrolling in fashion school in 2014 and graduating in 2018. But brah, her struggles with mental health and substance abuse were real. She got busted for smoking weed in her apartment lobby in 2013 and allegedly started a small fire in a New York City building. That's some crazy stuff, G. The case got dismissed, but her struggles didn't end there. She got hospitalized for a mental health eval in 2013, and her parents had to file for conservatorship, which is super tough, you feel? In 2018, Amanda Bynes opened up about struggling with her mental health for 4 years and how her parents had her back.
She started experimenting with marijuana, which then led to a dark road of drugs and depression. But today, Amanda Bynes is sober and she's saying she's sorry.
Bynes opening up to Paper magazine, saying she began using marijuana at the age of 16 and that later on it progressed to doing Molly and ecstasy. She would go on to experiment with other drugs like cocaine and Adderall.
You can't stop the river as it...
Her use of Adderall pills was around the time she was starring in the hit musical Hairspray. The 32-year-old telling the magazine that, quote, I definitely abused Adderall, even sharing that during the filming of a separate movie, she would be in her trailer chewing on the tablets because she thought they made her more high that way.
She really attributes some of what happened and changes in her behavior and personality to the drug usage as it escalated and became, a much more serious issue.
Hey, What's up? I'm Sebastian.
Bynes goes on to share her reaction to seeing herself in some of her biggest movies. After watching her performance in She's the Man, she says she went into a deep depression for 4 to 6 months because I didn't like how I looked when I was a boy. And after her work in Easy A, the actress says, I saw it and I was convinced that I should never be on camera again, and I officially retired on Twitter, adding, I was high and I was like, you know what? I am so over this, so I just did it. I have no fear of the future, she says, because she's been through the worst and came out the other end and survived it. It's only up from here.
She is now going to fashion school and wants to get back into acting the same way that she did as a kid, with excitement and hope for the best. She doesn't want to limit herself, but what a platform she has.
It's been a wild ride for Amanda, and I don't know if we'll see her back on the acting scene. But let's just hope she gets her life together, you feel? We're rooting for her and sending Sunday prayers her way. Despite everything faced, Amanda Bynes is 38 now and living her best life. Her net worth? A staggering $6 million. Totally chill.